Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, Text 37, Translation. Sanat Kumara advised the king, "My dear King Prithu, try to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is living within everyone's heart, along with the individual soul, in each and every body, either moving or not moving. They are fully covered by the gross material body and subtle body made of the life air and intelligence." Purport. In this verse, it is specifically advised that instead of wasting time in the human form of life, endeavoring for economic development and sense gratification, one should try to cultivate spiritual values by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is existing within the individual soul, within everyone's heart. The individual soul and the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his Paramatma feature are both sitting within this body, which is covered by gross and subtle elements. To understand this is to attain actual spiritual culture. There are two ways of advancing in spiritual culture: by the method of the impersonalist philosophers and by devotional service. The impersonalist comes to the conclusion that he and the Supreme Spirit are one, whereas devotees or personalists realize the Absolute Truth by understanding that the Absolute Truth is the Supreme Predominator and we living entities are predominated. Therefore, our duty is to serve him. The Vedic injunctions say, "Tattvamasi," you are the same, and "Soham," I am the same. The impersonalist conception of this mantra is that the Supreme Lord or the Absolute Truth and the living entity are one. But from the devotee's point of view, these mantras assert that both the Supreme Lord and ourselves are of the same quality. Tattvamasi, I am Atma Brahma. Both the Supreme Lord and the living entity are spirit. Understanding this is self-realization. The human form of life is meant for understanding the Supreme Lord and oneself by spiritual cultivation of knowledge. One should not waste valuable life simply engaged in economic development and sense gratification. In this verse, the word kshetravit is also important. This word is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramit avidiyate. This body is called kshetra, or the field of activities, and the proprietors of the body, the individual soul and the super soul sitting within the body, are both called kshetravit. But there is a difference between the two kinds of kshetravit. One kshetravit, or knower of the body, namely the Paramatma or the super soul, is directing the individual soul. When we rightly take the direction of the super soul, our life becomes successful. He is directing from within and from without. From within, he is directing as Chaitya Guru, or the spiritual master sitting within the heart. Indirectly, he is also helping the living entity by manifesting himself as the spiritual master outside. In both ways, the Lord is giving directions to the living entity so that he may finish up his material activities and come back home, back to Godhead. The presence of the Supreme Soul and the individual soul within the body can be perceived by anyone by the fact that as long as the individual soul and the Super Soul are both living within the body is always shining and fresh. But as soon as the Super Soul and the individual soul give up possession of the gross body, it immediately decomposes. One who is spiritually advanced can thus understand the real difference between a dead body and a living body. In conclusion, one should not waste his time by so-called economic development and sense gratification, but should cultivate spiritual knowledge to understand the super soul and the individual soul and their relationship. In this way, by advancement of knowledge, one can achieve liberation and the ultimate goal of life. It is said that if one takes to the path of liberation, even rejecting his so-called duties in the material world, he is not loser. He is not a loser at all. But a person who does not take to the path of liberation, yet carefully executes economic development and sense gratification, loses everything. Narada's statement before Vyasadeva is appropriate in this connection. Tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam harir bhajana pakota patetato yadi yatra kva vabhatram abhutamushyakim kovarta apto bhajatam swadharmataha. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 17. If a person, out of sentiment or for some other reason, takes to the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and in due course of time does not succeed in coming to the ultimate goal of life, or falls down due to lack of experience, there is no loss. But for a person who does not take to the devotional service, yet executes his material duties very nicely, there is no gain. Tattvam narendra jagatam atastusham cha dehendriyasu dishanatma vir avritanam yakshetra vit tapataya hridi vishvagavi pratyakchakasti bhagavams tamavehi sosmi. Sanat Kumara advised the king, my dear King Prithu, try to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is living within everyone's heart along with the individual soul. In each and every body, either moving or not moving, they are fully covered by the gross material body and subtle body made of the life, air and intelligence. So can someone take the English Gita and go to the index and look to the Super Soul and then find some verses about the Super Soul. There is a couple of verses that describe the Super Soul, like Vedesha Sarvai Ahameva Vedyo in the 15th chapter, and then as the pearls are strung on the thread, I'm sitting in everyone's heart. Okay, on the S, Super Soul, or on the S?
Very many.
You can see, I don't know if you can see if it's so the reference is purport or the verse.
Yeah. So it says Super Soul as Adi Yagya, all known by, as all pervading, Arjuna understood by attainment of in heart of soul.
In heart of.
Heart, what you said, okay. 220, 518, 1020, 30.
You can open and see where is it mentioned in the verse, not in the purport, but in the
I will
verse.
start with the highlighted ones.
You can look and then I will speak and then I will ask you to read something later, a little bit later.
So the first one, I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings.
You can find more verses, but don't read it immediately, just keep it open, the next one, and I will tell you. So this is the verse about the super soul. Yes, wait a little bit. This is the verse about the super soul, who is within about the soul and the super soul, and so, as Srila Prabhupada said in one conversation, that you will find here in Krishna consciousness everything you can find in other religions or in other spiritual doctrines, but you will find also much more. And we are so fortunate to have this knowledge where the clear distinction is made. What is the soul, what is the super soul? Because they also say, oh yeah, you know, like they say that we are one with God. We are one. They also interpret some Vedic lines or Vedic verses in the impersonalistic way. Soham, I am the same. Tattvamasi, you are the same. So I am the same as you. You are God. And I am the same as you, because I am also spirit. They think like this. But the philosophy of Achintya Veda Veda Tattva means what?
The same but different.
Simultaneously?
I don't know this word.
Simultaneously, Bhakta Philip and Bhakta Sebastian.
Veda means same, and Abeda means different. So
Veda, Abeda.
Veda, Abeda, so Achintya is
Veda, Abeda Tattva.
Yeah, it's this unconceivable energy, so it's this the unconceivable energy.
Simultaneously one and different. So how it is one? The quality. How it is different? The quantity. Very simple. So the spirit, the quality is the same as the particle of the ocean is the same as the whole ocean, but it's just a small drop, and then the ocean is billions of drops together. And then he speaks here about this covering. We are covered. So we can understand that, like you are covered now, everybody is covered by your dress. You have a dress. But underneath the dress is your body. And similarly, the body covers the soul underneath the dress-like covering that is this body. There is the real person or the soul. So just this fact that we are the soul, this fact gives us, it can give us fearlessness, because we know we are eternal. It can give us fearlessness. And there are two ways of advancing in spiritual culture: impersonalistic and personalistic way. And personalistic way is actually devotional service. And impersonalistic way is pursued by jnanis, those who speculate. Also, they have a method called neti-neti. This is not it, and this is not it. This is not the truth, and this is not the truth. But they don't exactly know what is the truth. So this is explained in the Bhagavatam very clearly. What is the truth? And it is said, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, in the 3rd chapter of the 1st canto, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, it means that Krishna is the source of all incarnations. So why this has stopped? Stopped. Doesn't want to record. nothing. Now, significant here to me is that Sant Kumara says, my dear Pritu, try to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we speak about understanding between people. That wife wants that husband understands her, husband wants that wife understands her, children wants that parents understand them, and parents want that the children understand them, and the employee wants that his boss understands him, and the boss wants that the employee understands him. So to understand their needs, their interests, their concerns, their expectations. But people don't ask, they don't think about understanding God, understanding what God wants, what is He trying to tell us. So what we see that is happening in nature, that if we don't understand what is God trying to tell us by words, then He's trying to tell us through different other means, like catastrophes. He's trying to tell us that we are doing something wrong. And imagine if people in this world situation would start to actually ask themselves, some people who are pious, who are God-fearing or related or inclined towards God, some people, they question, they say, maybe we are doing something wrong. And devotees, they speak openly, says, we are killing so many cows, we are killing so many animals, we are killing children in the womb, also killing people in different ways. There is killing in the traffic, people die in traffic, then they die from also different diseases. And therefore this planet is called Mrityuloka, the planet of death. So people say, oh, so many people are dying, but it's not a surprise because this planet is the planet of death. In other planets, in higher planets, the death is more rare because people live longer. 10,000 years, they live 10,000 years. But here, up to 100 years or 80 years, or some people die earlier. So, Mrityuloka, death is present here, and sometimes we think that the grass is greener in the neighbor's courtyard. So, devotees here, I'm in Germany, and they ask me, oh, how is it there in Germany? It must be different, it must be better. You know, Germany is an amazing country. Maybe 80 or 90 million people, I don't know, maybe more now, before it was 80. And then I say, well, there is birth, old age, disease and death. The same as in your country, there is these four qualities in this country: birth, old age, janma mrityu jara vyadi, dukkha dosha darshanam. These four kinds of miseries are present in Germany, in Hawaii, in Bahamas, in all these amazing sense gratification places. And because people are sinful in these places, they get heavy hurricanes and reactions or earthquakes, because they are even more sinful, because they go there to enjoy it. So we are wondering why they... So in the advertisement for these tourist places, it doesn't say you can get blown out by the hurricane. Because people will not come. They will say, oh, they say, maybe during your holiday there will be a Katrina or different fancy names they have for these hurricanes. They give them some nice names. And you see, it's very nice, it's warm, and you know, you can swim all day, but at one point it can all blow you away completely. Then they don't advertise snakes, they don't advertise insects that you can meet there, different kinds of insects. They don't advertise criminals who can rob you. So come to a very, very exotic place, and you will be blown by the wind, you will be eaten by the mosquitoes, and you will be robbed by the thieves. They don't do this kind of advertisement for the touristic places. So how is in Germany? How is in America? America is promised land, but America is, even for America, coronavirus is not enough. Now they have also these hurricanes, a lot of hurricanes in America in different places. And sometimes in Europe it happens, but it seems more rare in Europe. Also in Europe sometimes it happens. Recently there was an earthquake in Croatia and Zagreb. I don't remember when was the last earthquake, maybe 15 years ago in Croatia. And so these miseries of material existence are present everywhere in the material world, and on this planet Earth you can find them everywhere. But people always dream that it's better, some other place is better, the grass is greener in the neighbor's courtyard. So. And sometimes they say that animals, they see the grass and it's not so, how you say, thick? Dense, yeah, dense or thick. But when you look like this, it doesn't look, and when you look on the side, it looks greener, although it's the same kind of thickness, but when you look from the side, it looks greener, isn't it? It looks greener if you see the grass that is further away, so you think, oh yeah, maybe if I go there is more grass. So similarly, people think if I come to Germany, I mean, so many people come to Germany from Turkey, even from my country, I know people who came to Germany, and they expect to find better life. And okay, maybe they find a better standard, they are working, Arbeit, they are working for the boss, and but still in Germany they have to die. They cannot live forever. Then they also get ill, and I remember last time I was in the hospital here for maybe 6-7 hours waiting because they lost my documents. And it's a nice hospital, and nice doctors, nice people. Maybe they are nicer and faster than in other countries, but still I had to wait so long because they lost the document. And maybe I should complain and ask for the compensation for the wasted time, but it's too late and I don't have the documents anymore. So, and then they checked me and they said, we don't know what is your problem. After 6-7 hours of waiting, they said, no, you're okay. We checked your blood, your urine, and you're okay, and if it gets worse, you come back. I remember I visited Germany a couple of times when I was young. I came hitchhiking from my country, and I didn't want to spend money on the train because I needed money for food. So then I would see amazing restaurants in Munich, and I visited father of my neighbor and my friend was working in Germany, so he invited us. to visit him, and then he brought us to some restaurants, and we saw, wow, it's amazing, this is better than in my country. So grass is greener somewhere else. So people always think that somewhere else they will be more happy. So they leave their country and just going back to each other. They go to some other country, but they are also they will experience miseries of material existence in one way or the other. Maybe it will be a little easier, but ultimately they have to die. Everybody has to die. And also people speak about eternal love. I love you forever. But how can this be? Because we are going to die. So how can we have an eternal relationship? If you want to be with someone forever, then this can happen only in the spiritual world. So this means both of you have to go back to Godhead. And this means that both of you have to become so Krishna conscious. And ultimately both of you have to love Krishna more than each other. Otherwise you cannot get there, I think so. So, and when people are dreaming about this perfect relationship, but the relationships in the material world are based on the bodily relation, bodily liking. Can you close the door, please? Like, okay, is it completely free? Yeah, close it, don't worry. So now Sanat Kumara, he's actually explaining the bodily situation, and he's destroying this kind of dreaming. So can you give another verse there?
15:50.
Yes.
I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas.
Still trying to connect. So he's sitting in everyone's heart, and he's so smritir jnanam apohanam. Smritir, remembrance, jnanam, knowledge or intelligence, and forgetfulness. It all comes from the Lord. Smritir jnanam apohanam. So now in the evening yesterday we spoke about excuses, and if we speak about how to avoid excuses, actually if one can listen to the Super Soul, then he will not make excuses, because Super Soul is always giving the best guidance. So we have this guidance within, we have this first-class life coach within, first-class teacher within, Chaitya Guru, the Lord within, who is giving us guidance. You find another verse? Didn't find? There's more verses with the Super Soul.
I have some.
You have? Yes, please.
I found it's nice verse. That is Bhagavad Gita 13:23.
Okay.
I read translation only, yes?
Yes.
That is German. Krishna.
German.
You can say in German.
13:23.
13:23.
13:23. You find it. You have English Gita is there.
13:23.
Yet in this body there is another, the transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul.
Excellent. Upadrashta Anumanta Cha. Overseer and permitter. Overseer and permitter. So he sees everything. So you cannot hide from him anywhere. Whatever you do, he can see it. And if he doesn't permit, if he doesn't allow you to get a result, you will not get a result for anything you do. So So how do we pray to the Lord? Knowing this, how do we pray to the Lord? Mighty Lord, if you desire so, please give me this, give me that. Or give me that result, this result, that result. So, mighty Lord, if you desire so, or mighty Lord, if you think it will be beneficial for me or for others, so please give us this or this and that. Like this. We don't see the Lord as a order supplier. Like you can order something from Amazon or from, maybe you have here some supermarket, you can order online. So this their order supplier, their supplier of orders there, bring you what you have ordered. And people say, God give us our daily bread. And the other day, I forgot the name of Mataji, the Mataji who's Pujari, she came from Russia. What's her name? Kamalatika. She came, so I was thinking, God He gives us our daily bread even on Ekadashi. You know? We got bread on Ekadashi. Original bread from buckwheat flour, it's bona fide flour for Ekadashi. So He is giving us our daily bread not only on non-Ekadashi but also on Ekadashi. So how much we can be grateful. And it only happens in Cologne temple. I have not seen this bread in other temples. And we didn't even pray. Have you ever prayed, Mighty Lord, please give us our daily bread on Ekadashi? Because it's difficult for us to follow Ekadashi without bread. And He gave you bread on Ekadashi. She gives you bread on Ekadashi. And we didn't even pray. Can you imagine this? How kind is the Lord? You didn't even pray for bread and you got bread on Ekadashi. And you are not supposed to eat bread on Ekadashi. But this flour is bona fide for Ekadashi, so you got bread on Ekadashi. Now, there is this question that you want to ask. How can I make a distinction between the voice of the mind and voice of the super soul? What do you think? No, question is not difficult, but it's difficult to do.
The voice of super soul always tells that go in right direction, something like that. Always it tells what is advantage and disadvantage. But mind says that just do it. Then it don't tell that what you will face in future.
Okay. Anybody else?
Shravana Gitna Vishnu Smart.
What?
So always my methods are to help us to
Explain it. What do you mean?
I mean Shravana, listening to the voice of God.
But I'm asking, how do you know the distinction between...
Yeah, that's there. When we are listening, when we are training our listening, purifying our mind, making our mind being our friend, then we can certainly, by the guidance of the spiritual master, who is within and without, yes, in our heart, just like Paramatma, then we can hear.
But how do you know that the mind is not talking and then the super soul is talking? How do you know that?
Then, if we can listen, if we learn how to listen to, we can differentiate. If we surrender to the spiritual master, surrender to, we know that he is this, how to say, Paramatma's voice in our heart. By surrendering to him, we can differentiate.
Okay, by surrendering. Okay, yes?
Maybe, I don't know, but maybe the mind is like, this is a good idea. It's thinking like, what about this theory? What about this theory? Oh, I like this theory. Let's do this right now. Oh, but I rather like this right now. and then Paramatma voice might be a truth that is hard to swallow. It's like this moment of remembrance when you are like, oh, I'm actually like this. Okay, let's try to understand what it means. And maybe you forget even, and you didn't realize it was just a blink of an eye, like, oh yeah, okay, it's like this. Oh, but it feels a little bit itchy, this realization. But it feels not only itchy, it's also kind of like, yeah, that needs to be the truth, but it's not comfortable, but I need to deal with it now. And then maybe it fades out or it stays. That's the difference maybe for me.
So if it's not comfortable, maybe it doesn't come from God. Is that the conclusion? If it's not comfortable, maybe it doesn't come from God.
If it's not uncomfortable, then maybe it doesn't come from God.
If it's not uncomfortable, maybe it doesn't come from God. So it has to be uncomfortable or comfortable.
It doesn't have to be comfortable.
It doesn't have to be comfortable.
Comfortable is not what comes from God mostly.
Okay. Just a minute. I think she also wanted to say something.
My English is not so good.
Not in English.
Kann ich Deutsch sprechen? Kann ich übersetzen? Also, wie ich das wahrnehme, wenn mein Geist mir irgendetwas einredet, dann ist es eher materiell als spirituell, weil er möchte immer, dass man genießt oder etwas für gut findet oder nicht gut.
So when my mind is trying to talk to me, then he always talks like, trying to influence me, this is good, this is not so good.
And the super soul?
Und ich übersehe die im Herzen, weil das ist also die Stimme des Gewissens, das ist mein Gewissen. Sie ist immer, also zeigt mir, ich spüre das, wenn ich etwas falsch mache, dass sie nicht so mit mir zufrieden ist.
It's my, I don't know the word in English, Gewissen, intuition, intuition feeling.
Or conscience, maybe conscience.
Conscience that it's something, what I do is bad right now. Yeah. That's how he talks to me.
So this feeling, what is right and what is wrong. Okay? Yes?
When the mind is still, when the mind is quiet and purified, then we can hear the voice of Paramatma.
Okay.
Then we can very vividly hear
Mm-hmm.
his voice.
Okay. So when the mind is still, when the mind is quiet, one can hear the super soul. Okay, so now this discussion is very important for our course that we have about excuses, because if you are able to hear the super soul, then you will be able to understand what is the excuse that the mind is giving and what is the right thing to do, even if it's difficult. And becoming introspective, I think it means being able to listen to the super soul, becoming introspective. Now, there is these 6 points of surrender, 6 symptoms of surrender. Anukulasya sankalpa, first 2, anukulasya sankalpa, pratikulasya varjanam, accepting everything that is favorable for devotional service and rejecting everything that is unfavorable. So if you get the proposal from within, or a voice, that, and if you want to see if it's favorable or not favorable for devotional service. So that's one way to discriminate. And then another way you can distinguish between the voice of the super soul and the voice of the mind is if it's in line with the scriptures. If it's in line with the scriptures, if it's something that you have heard from sadhu, shastra and guru, that you hear that is proposed. Sometimes you can get a Krishna conscious proposal also, or you can have a few options and then you are not sure what to choose, what would be the best thing to do. You could do this and you could do that, and you could do this and you could do that, and both are Krishna conscious. So in that case, when you get two Krishna conscious proposals or three Krishna conscious proposals, it's not always easy to understand which one is coming from the super soul and which one is coming from the mind. But if you discuss with other devotees, maybe senior devotees, or with your spiritual master, then you can come to a conclusion what is actually the best way to go. But of course, it may be Krishna conscious that you do one or the other. Both may be okay, but you have to choose yourself. So, I say that if you cannot listen to the super soul, if you cannot hear the super soul, then look at the Shastra and see what the Shastra is telling you. Or look at the instructions of the spiritual master that you have gotten. But we have situations where spiritual master gives instruction and that the disciples cannot follow. Like Dhruva Maharaj, he couldn't follow instruction of Narada Muni, and he admitted that I cannot follow this, do you have some other instruction? And Narada Muni gave him another instruction, and the whole thing worked very well. But he was able to admit that this is too high for me. So this instruction is too high for me, I cannot follow it. So this is also one case where you have a situation of not being sure what to follow, what not to follow. Sometimes devotees, they surrender to the instruction blindly, but they cannot follow it. Guru says you have to do this, and they try to do it, but they cannot follow it. And then sometimes they feel so bad that I am a bad disciple, or they completely ruin their spiritual life because they cannot follow something, or they're full of doubts, and they don't express openly and sincerely their doubts to their guru, and they get stuck very much. So therefore, one should openly express to their guru or to their guides to express what, if they have any doubts, or if they follow or they cannot follow something. So it's very important to be able to distinguish. And if you stop, now we say there is a voice of conscience. I don't know if you have a word in German, conscience? Gewissen. Okay, Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada says that the super soul is the source of conscience. We can say conscience is the ability to distinguish what is right and what is wrong. I don't know how we can define. I mean, we can look in the dictionary what it says about what is right and about conscience. What is the function of the conscience? Also, intuition also is coming from the super soul, and there is Srila Prabhupada's statements about this. Intuition is coming from the super soul.
Let me say 2 words.
Yeah.
It doesn't depend on us. It is a big mistake. We think we know, we can understand, we can, because Paramatma has the whole complex of all the informations and all knowledge for us. We need, or we have forgotten. Yes, and his voice is always very, very strict. It is not speculative. There is no any speculation coming from Paramatma, because Paramatma possesses all our feelings, all our emotions, all the informations, but himself, he doesn't feel too much. That's why there's always the truth. That is the voice of the truth. It's not about feelings, emotions, or something like that. That is about mind. Mind is always emotional and wants to possess us and wants to govern and wants to manipulate the soul. That is always manipulation. But Paramatma, super soul is subdued. Soul is subdued to super soul. That's why the instructions of Paramatma are always truthful. No speculation, very strict, and how to say right information. Because he knows everything, and if he gives us something, then if we can hear, then that is strict and absolutely truthful and correct. We know what to do. If we can hear, if we can accept. Because mind, to hear, to much more pleasant and much more, how to say, easier. So that is my inner inside voice. That is not the inside voice. That is inside speculation of the mind. Well, I'm sorry. That's what I can say, because in the street sometimes it happens. We can, not me, I mean the great Sankirtan devotees. Yeah, and we are led by this voice what to do. We are led. We are not thinking, mind is still, mind is quiet. And we are going where we are led to go. So
Okay.
it is not so ideal as I'm speaking, certainly. Yes, but that is fact.
Okay. Prabhuji?
So what's the difference between the intelligence and the super soul, or how do they work together?
Intelligence is coming from the super soul, but you can get from the super soul spiritual intelligence and material intelligence. So, because it can give you intelligence if you want to pursue material life and material goals, and the super soul is guiding the soul through the material world in what the soul wants to achieve. And when the soul wants spiritual life, then the super soul is making arrangements to meet the guru, to get a book, because super soul is always following us, and it can help us in a spiritual realm and also in the material realm. If you want material things, you can get material intelligence, and people get that.
Okay. Does it also give us material and spiritual mind? Or does a spiritual mind even not exist?
I mean, everything is given by God. Spiritual mind exists. With spiritual mind, you have spiritual thoughts, spiritual feelings, and spiritual desires. These are three functions of the mind.
So depending on how you engage your intelligence, your mind, it gets spiritualized or not.
You can say, if you engage it in spiritual activities, it gets spiritualized, or this spiritual quality becomes manifest from the mind. So, I mean, we say we want to purify the mind.
Yeah, so that's why I thought that the mind is all bad and material.
What can you say?
That's why I thought that the mind is all bad and material, and we should like abandon. But we
No,
should
you have the
abandon-
mind.
we
You
should
don't
make
become
friends with
mindless.
him by spiritualizing, by purifying, by.
Yeah, you don't become mindless to become spiritual. You still have a mind, but the mind is purified.
Yeah.
The mind is thinking about Krishna, the mind is feeling for Krishna, the mind is desiring for Krishna. And also, very important, sankalpa and vikalpa. You see, I quoted this verse, anukulasya sankalpa, pratikulasya varjanam. Sankalpa and vikalpa, accepting everything that is favorable and rejecting everything that is unfavorable. There's three functions of the mind and two functions of the mind. And two functions of the mind are sankalpa and vikalpa. And when we speak about excuses, it's very important to understand that what do you accept in any moment of the day and what do you reject. So you want to accept what is favorable and you want to reject what is unfavorable. Okay, it's getting late now. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Yeah.